Let's move the spine just a little bit. Let's inhale and draw the heart forward and the shoulders back. Inhale here. And as you exhale, you're going to draw the rib cage over to the left and then back into a C curve. And inhaling over to the right and forward. Exhaling over to the left and back. Belly button tucks in. Inhaling over to the right and forward. And one more time like that. Exhaling, hollowing it out. And inhaling over to the right and forward. So just pause there for a moment. Shoulders draw back, heart lifts up. And exhaling, draw it over opposite way to the right and back. And inhaling, left and forward. So just slow it down. It's like if you were trying to get everything out, like the last bit of peanut butter out of a peanut butter jar, and you were just kind of like circling your rib cage around the perimeter of a peanut butter jar. It's kind of a weird thing to think about, but it works. Let's pause the next time that you come back into that C curve. Just pause there and exaggerate the shoulders drawing forward and the chin dropping down and in, letting the head hang heavy towards the chest. And you just begin to feel a lengthening in the muscles in the back of the neck, paraspinals, for one more breath here. Good, and then just coming up nice and tall, lifting through the top of the head, lining up your elbows right beneath your shoulders, and inhaling, rolling the shoulders forward and up. Open mouth, exhale, back and down. Inhaling, forward and up. Open mouth, back and down. And one more time, forward and up. Open mouth, back and down. Let the shoulders drape down the back body. Just pausing to receive a deeper breath. Maybe there's a slight constriction in the back of the throat, that ujjayi sound. See if you can just begin to let your thoughts settle. Towards stillness. For one more breath. And sliver the eyelids open on your in-breath, letting light, colors, and shadow back in. And as you exhale, let's drop the left ear towards the left shoulder and reach out long through the right fingertips. You can take your left hand just above the top of the right ear and reach out long. So with the right hand, just kind of begin to swim the fingertips forward in front of you and back behind you. Just wavy, like seaweed moving underwater. Let the hand move slowly and notice how you'll feel a different stretch, kind of front and back of the neck and shoulder as the arm moves. And if you find a sweet spot, you just stay in your sweet spot. We'll take one more breath, just exploring what you feel. And then keeping everything that you've got, you're just going to turn your chin down towards the left side of your chest and wiggle your fingertips towards that little notch behind your right earlobe, and gently tug the base of the skull away from the top of your right shoulder blade as you descend the right shoulder blade down. Just gently lift the crown into your palm. And again, feel what you feel for 2. And 1. And releasing the hands, both hands down to the ground, chin to the chest. And on your next in-breath, sweep the fingertips up towards the sky. Look up. And as you exhale, twist over to the right. Re-lift through the very top of your head on your in-breath. And as you exhale, twist a little bit further. More practiced students, feel your left thigh bone drawing back into the hip socket instead of jutting the left hip forward. And if that doesn't make any sense, don't worry about it. Just take one more breath, gazing behind you, rotating the head to the right and the eyes to the right sides of their sockets. Inhale, sweep the right arm up to the sky. And exhale, take it across onto a diagonal. So it's going to be parallel with the ground. Flip your left palm towards the sky and like a little shovel, scoop your left arm underneath your right one. So check it out. Your right arm is straight and your left arm is bent. And you're going to hug the elbows towards each other like they're magnetized towards each other. And you'll feel that in your right deltoid. Inhale, float your heart and your elbows and your gaze to the sky. And as you exhale, take it down and in. Inhale, float it up towards the sky. Exhale, take it down and in. And one more time like that, inhaling, flutter to the sky. And exhale, take it down. Release the fingertips, circle them back behind you and up to the sky, inhaling. Exhale, backstroke once again, interlacing the hands at the base of the spine. Little bend in the elbows so you can roll the shoulders back. And inhale, lift your chin to the sky. Exhale through the mouth, chin to the chest. Inhale, float it up. And exhale, open mouth, chin to the chest. One more time, inhaling. And exhale, take it down. Inhale, sweep the fingertips wide and all the way up to the sky. Exhale, place the palms in front of you before we do the other side. I'm going to come into an all fours position, hands and knees. And inhale, glide your left heel straight back behind you. And exhaling, chin to the chest. Inhale, maybe three-legged dog for some of you. And exhaling, knee to the chest. Most of us will just keep the back knee down. And one more time, inhale, reach out through that inner heel. And exhale, take the chin towards your chest. Landing the heel down at the top of your mat. Just pause there and sink the hips nice and low. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. Let your exhale breath settle the pelvis forward and down towards the front heel. And let your in-breath lift the heart to the sky. Finding equal amounts of brightness through fingertips and top of the head, but softness in the cheeks, the jaw, shoulders for one more. Now let's take the hands through heart center and hook our right elbow over the left knee. And once again, see how much of the upper arm bone you can get to cross over. Top hand pressing into bottom hands. Slide the sides of the throat back in space so that the upper palate lines up with the heart center. And rotate from your sternum out through your left shoulder tip, maybe looking up to the sky. Some of you curling back toes under and lifting back knee for 3. Ujjayi breath if you can, little constriction in the back of the throat. Good, looking down towards the ground. Place the hands onto either side of the front foot and step back into your all fours position. Just one cat and cow. Inhale, open the heart, look up to the sky. And exhale as you round. Inhaling, coming into your flat back, and cross the ankles behind you. And then uncross the ankles and recross them with the other ankle on top, because you'll always go to the habitual one, and then you're going to roll back through to a seat. And at this point, it should be your weird ankle in front. Get the flesh out from underneath the sits bones, and one centering breath in, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, prayer to your heart. Take a single breath and feel. Release the fingertips off to the side. Grow brighter through the top of the head, breathing in. Exhale, dropping your right ear towards your right shoulder, and pause here. You're going to take the right hand just above the apex of your left ear, letting the head fall into that side tilt, just a softening into, not so much of a forcing or a pushing. And then we're going to just wave the left fingertips in front of us and back behind us as we breathe. And just notice how that slow action changes the stretch that you feel. And then go ahead and release the fingertips off to the side, left fingertips to the side. And you're just gonna keep the head on that same axis. You're just gonna turn the nose and the chin down towards the right chest so that your nose lines up right over the top of your right thigh, and fingertips wiggle towards that little notch at the left base of your skull. Curling the chin in towards the chest and then puffing the head into the palm. So there's a bit of a lift in the head. And then as best you can, just send your left shoulder blade down the back body. So we're working into the levator scap, which attaches from the top of your scapula all the way to the base of the skull. And getting into the upper trap too. Chronically tight stuff for almost everyone. We'll take one more breath here. Let there be ease. Good. Releasing the hand. Taking the head back to center. Inhale and sweep the fingertips up towards the sky. And exhale as you twist to the left. Grow tall through your chest and the back of the skull on your in-breath. And exhale, twist a little bit further to the left. So more practiced students, you're going to notice that your right sitting bone starts to creep forward. And what you'll do is just slide the top of your right femur bone back into the hip socket so that the hips stay level. So you're twisting from an even base. And again, if that doesn't make sense, it's important to not worry about it. With a level chin and even the eyes turning to the left sides of the sockets, we rotate to the left. One more breath. Inhale, gliding left fingertips up towards the sky. And exhale, take that left arm onto a diagonal so it's parallel to the ground. Flip your right palm towards the sky and like a little shovel, scoop your right elbow underneath your left upper arm. The right hand is facing your face. Yeah. And then the left arm is really straight and it's nestling heavy into the crook of the right elbow. Squeeze the elbows towards each other and we begin to pulse with the breath. Inhale, heart and gaze, lift up. Exhale, take it down nice and slow. No rush, 2 more times. Embracing the opportunity to slow down when it arises. At the end of your next exhale, release the fingertips, sweep them back behind you and up towards the sky. Inhaling and interlace the hands. Exhale, elbows come off to the sides. Inhale, heart opens. Let's just pause here for an extra breath. Feeling that as you press the head back in space and the hands gently press the head forward, just to give some resistance, that the sternum can scoop forward and up. Feel that, how the head pressing back helps the heart to lift. One more breath. On your next exhale, chin to the chest, elbows towards each other. Pausing here for a couple of breaths. Can you stay super upright in your mid-belly as though you're wearing a corset? Kind of like an awful thing to imagine, but just imagine that you could be tall through the side waist all the way up to the chest, and then isolate the curve into the upper back and gently scoop the elbows forward to broaden the scapulae on the back body. And as the head and the hands again press towards each other, can you breathe into that space? Upper back, back of the neck for one more. And inhale, opening the heart. Big breath out, chin to the chest. And two more, riding your own breath. Just milk the breath. Make it just a little bit longer for one more. Inhale, fingertips sweep up to the sky. And palms come forward, roll over the knees, come into your all fours position. Right heel draws back behind you, inhaling. And exhale, knee towards the chest. A little bit more weight on the inner edges of your pointer fingers if you can. Inhale, gliding it back. Maybe some of you do this from your dog pose. And exhaling, knee to chest. Again, most of us back, knee down. Inhale, glide that heel back one more time. And exhale as you place the heel just to the inside of the right thumb, coming into your knee down lunge. Make your stance long enough so that your front knee is right over the heel, and then sink your pelvis down towards the ground. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. Let's just find a tiny little bend in the elbows so that you can feel the work that we did in the neck and shoulders at this point. And just sense that there's a bit more freedom here in that space between the head and the heart. Get into the hips, letting that tail draw forward and down to the front heel. One more full stretch. And then the next exhale takes your hands towards the heart, and we hook the left elbow over the right knee. So see if you can get just a little bit more of the upper arm bone to cross over the knee, and then come into your prayer from here. Feel like the right underbelly drawing towards the back body as you rotate your rib cage to the right. Pressing the knee into the upper arm into the knee. And maybe some of you curling back toes under and lifting the back knee for just a few more breaths here. looking down towards the ground. Place the hands onto either side of the front foot. Curl the back toes under, lift the back knee, and step the back foot to the top of your mat. Uttanasana, standing forward folds. Lift and spread your toes as your heart comes forward, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold, replace the toes. Inhale, lifting heart, lifting toes. And exhale, take it down. And one more time, inhale, firming the belly to the back. And exhale as you bow. So just check out your Uttanasana, your forward fold, and see what works for you here. Some of us with low back or low back stuff will take the heels a little bit wider. Some of us with a really intense sensation in the hamstrings or in the low back will bend the knees. Do the forward fold version that feels good in your body for just one more. Good, and then inhaling to your flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And then reverse swan dive, rising all the way up. From here, let's bend the right elbow and grab onto it with our left hand. Point your tailbone down, lift your elbow up. And as you exhale, hinge to the left. Press your head gently back into the right forearm and peel your right ribs open towards the ceiling, any amount, for 2. Good. Inhale, sweeping your fingertips up to the sky. And exhale as you forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Lift and spread your toes. And exhale to forward fold. So from here, you're going to step back with your right foot towards the back of the mat, just 3.5 feet for Trikonasana, triangle. So at this point, you want your front foot to be bisecting your back arch, okay? So the heel would draw a line directly through the center of your right foot. And your hips and shoulders are square to the long edge of your sticky mat for Trikonasana. You can start from upright, tall through the top of the head. And exhale, hinge towards over the left toes and release the left hand down. Right arm's gonna initially come up towards the sky, and we just wanna steady the base of the pose, so you're kind of squeezing the 2 feet towards each other as though you could wrinkle your yoga mat beneath you and firing up the inner legs. You're going to reach back through the right hand, like straight back behind you. So the arm is parallel to the ground, and then we're going to drop the left ear towards the left shoulder, like head super, super heavy, maybe the chin towards the ground. Reach back through the right fingertips until you find a sweet spot somewhere where you just feel a really great stretch, somewhere between like the side of your head, maybe even the jaw, all the way out to the right shoulder. Movement or stillness you choose for one more breath. Good, and inhale to reverse your triangle. And exhale to cartwheel the hands down onto either side of the front foot. Step the back foot to the top of the mat and inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to forward bow. Reverse your swan dive, rising all the way up. And from here, we're going to bend the left elbow, taking the right hand onto the top of your left elbow. Pressing the head straight back in space. And as you press the head back, you might notice that your butt wants to stick out behind you, but don't do that. Point the tailbone down and lift up through the top of the elbow. Balance those 2 actions. Inhaling here and hinging over to the right. Exhale. See if you could just gently press your hips over to the left as you lean over to the right. Skull pressing back into the space behind you for 2. Pressing back, skull's really pressing back into the forearm for 1. Good. Inhale, fingertips come up towards the sky. And exhale as you forward fold all the way down. Inhaling to halfway lift. And exhale to forward bow. Bend the knees, place the hands, and step your left foot about 1 leg's distance back behind you and spin the back heel down. Again, heel to arch alignment. Cartwheeling the arms up, facing the long edge of your sticky mat for Trikonasana. Back toes turn in slightly, right? Right toes point out 90. Grow longer through all of your appendages, even the top of your head. And as you exhale, lean over to the right, reaching out beyond the toes, and then floating the right fingertips down to the earth or the shin bone lightly. Left arm up towards the sky, and then again, just pause and see. You could just dump into the legs and let them be lazy, and the stickiness of your mat will hold you there. Or you could bring some strength into the pose, some brightness into the base by drawing the 2 feet towards each other and feeling the muscles on the inner legs actually working. We want that. Top hand then comes to reach straight back behind you so that it's parallel to the ground. And on an exhale, dropping the right ear down towards the shoulder and chin towards the chest. So the head's just kind of moving in a way to find a deeper stretch. And there's a lot of activity from your left shoulder tip out to the left fingernails. Stay still or find a sweet spot for 2. Are your legs still on board? And inhale, rising up to reverse triangle. And as you exhale, cartwheel the hands down onto either side of the front foot, stepping back into your all fours position. So from here, high buns are really going to get in your way. So get rid of those if you have one. And then you're going to take the crown of the head down onto the ground. And see if you can interlace your hands behind you at the base of the spine and draw the knuckles up towards the sky. And just really gently inhale and roll towards your anterior hairline, like where your hairline meets your forehead. And as you exhale, round towards the back of the skull. Lift the knuckles whole time. Inhaling, rolling forward towards the forehead. And exhale as you round. Keep the knuckles lifting. We don't want all of the energy dumping down into the head. One more time, inhaling, stimulating the crown chakra and the Du channel in Chinese medicine, the governing vessel. Good, and then releasing towards the forehead, releasing the fingertips towards the ground, and taking puppy dog. Speaking of puppy dogs, hi Whitey, hi little man. Oh my gosh, he's doing puppy dog too. That's such a good puppy. I'm borrowing Whitey from my friend. He's the best dog ever. And then we'll just do a thread the needle when you're ready. Right palm flips to the sky, threads underneath the left armpit, and right shoulder down onto the ground. And shrugging the shoulder, tenting your left fingertips to the sky, and leaning the weight of the body back towards the space behind you. So we get rid of that tension between the head of the heart. It kind of helps us to live a little bit more in the present moment, which dogs are always doing. And this little man is made entirely of love. Still running for mayor of North Park, if anyone's wondering. I need like your vote for one more breath. Okay, back to puppy. Come on back to center. Left palm flips up, threads underneath the right armpit, all the way out to the right. Reach through those fingertips, unshrug the left shoulder, and tent your right fingertips if that feels nice for you. And then keep everything that you've got and just lean the weight of the body back towards the space behind you. Should feel good. So just revel in whatever that feels like for you, for some time. Okay, placing the right palm, coming back into your puppy dog. One breath. Really, really bright front paws, front fingertips. Good. And then walking the hands in towards you, go ahead and take a seat on your heels. Interlace the hands behind you. Bend the elbows behind you, puff the heart to the sky. Inhale. Exhale through the mouth, chin to the chest. Stretch the knuckles back behind you. Long arm bones, lifting the chin. Exhale through the mouth, chin to the chest. And one more time, inhaling. And exhale, take it down. From here, level the chin. You can take one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly. And if you're concluding with level 1, you might want to just lie down on your back. Take the soles of the feet together and the knees apart for this part. And when you're ready, you can extend the legs for Shavasana, for corpse pose. Close the gram and set a timer for 5 to 10 minutes and let the body completely relax. Okay, so for those of us coming onto the level 2 ride, you can take the hands forward and come up into downward facing dog. And exhaling here, hit the thigh bones back in space. And as you inhale, see if you can sort of round the upper back forward and ripple into a high plank with the head straightening out last. And then exhale, lifting up and back into your Adho Mukha. Inhale, hollow the underbelly and unfurl the spine into your plank pose. Exhaling, downward facing dog. And one more time, unfurling into your high plank. As you exhale, you're going to lower maybe just like a third of the way down for something like a chaturanga. And inhale, come back up. Exhale, swivel both heels over to the right. And inhale, circle your left fingertips to the sky. Exhale, sweep the hand in front of you and down to the ground. And inhale, back to your plank. Exhale, option to come just a third of the way down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, swivel heels over to the left. And inhale, lifting hips, lifting right fingertips. Exhale, circle it down to the ground. Inhaling, coming back through center. You can skip this part. Exhale and lower. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, swivel heels to the right. Inhale, float the fingertips and the hips up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhaling, center. Exhale, maybe you drop the knees to lower a third of the way down. Inhale, back up, full plank. Exhale, swivel to the left. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale. exhaling, circle down. Inhale, coming back to center. Just pause for a single cleansing breath in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Last round, but we're going to do it just a little bit slower. Maybe you drop the knees. Exhale and lower just a third of the way down. Inhale, back up, pop up to full plank. Exhale, swivel to the right. Slow. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, circle it down, big circle. Inhale, back through center, knees up or down. Exhale, lower a third of the way down. Elbows stay tight to the side ribs. Inhale, back up. Exhale, swivel to the left. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, floating it down. Inhaling, coming back into your plank pose. And from here, let's come down onto the forearms. Seeing that the elbows are no wider than the shoulders, and it's okay to drop the knees down here as well. Inhale, just lift your right heel, and exhale to lower it down. Use your belly. Inhale, lift your left, and exhale, lower it down. Can the leg grow longer as it lifts? Inhale, exhale, take it down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, take it down. And one more time each side, using your own breath. Good. Holding your dolphin plank for one more breath. Good. Walking the toes in so you lift the bum towards dolphin pose. Good, and then you're going to take the palms to face down, forearm bones parallel to each other. Inhale here, and exhale, downward facing dog. In through the nose, open mouth, exhale. Inhale, glide your right heel up and back behind you, and exhale, place the heel right between your thumbs. Spin the back heel down for Vira 2, heel to arch, rising up. From here, let's take the left elbow on top and give ourselves a hug. Maybe you take the fingertips to the sky. Maybe you double wrap at the wrists. Tail down, heart, and gaze lifting. And as you exhale, you're going to bow to the inside of the knee, kind of on an angle there. Inhale, ripple the spine back to upright. And exhale, take it down nice and slow. And one more time, inhaling. Exhale, take it down and pausing here. Let the head relax. Let the back leg be super strong. As you imagine, you could wrinkle the yoga mat beneath your feet, between the 2 feet. But the head and the skin on the face, soft and relaxed, even though the body's working, for one more breath. Good. Release the arms and rise all the way up to reverse triangle, straighten through the front leg. And from here, bend the top elbow, either grabbing on with your left hand or reaching back to make a bind behind you. Okay. Back into your Vira 2. Soften, deepen into that front knee bend. Inhale here. And as you exhale, hinge forward any amount. So at this point, maybe you're just holding here. Either way, the top shoulder is going to want to start caving forward towards the earth. So do what you can to roll the top shoulder open. And once again, press the head back into that forearm. You got this for one more breath. Good. Releasing, rising up. And switching sides. Turning the right toes to point in ever so slightly and the left toes to point out to the sides. Virabhadrasana 2. With eagle arms. Okay. So bending into the front knee. What elbow goes underneath this time? Okay, left arm on top. Give yourself a hug with your left elbow on top. And take the fingertips up towards the sky, double wrapping at the wrists. See, I miss having my students in class to remind me what I did on one side. Anyway, squeeze the elbows together, lift the heart, look up to the sky, find some buoyancy there. And then as you exhale, bow just to the inside of the left knee. Ripple the spine, one bone at a time, all the way back up. And exhale, take it down. One more time like that, inhaling as you rise. And exhale, take it down, and cultivate some sense of stability in the legs as they hug towards each other, and you're heavy in your outer right side of the foot, squeezing the elbows towards each other, but letting the head totally relax. Bonus points if you can tuck your left butt in instead of letting it wing out to the side for one more breath. Good, release the arms and reverse triangle, straighten through the front leg. Sweep the left fingertips up and back behind you, reach. And then go ahead and bend into that left elbow. Right hand either comes onto the elbow tip or reaches back. You could grab onto your shirt. You have to have a really long ponytail or a strap, of course. Exhale, sink back into the left knee. Roll the right shoulder open. Inhale here. And exhale, hinge. So from here, you want to notice again at the top shoulder just wants to cave forward, and then roll it open any amount. And just be calm for 2. You just accept the sensations that the pose is giving you for 1. Good. And then release the hands down onto either side of the front foot. And inhale, step back into a plank pose, top of a push-up. Exhale, lower the body down. Inhale, lifting into a cobra or an upward facing dog. We're going to hang out here for a couple of breaths. Bend the elbows, you guys, so that you can draw the tops of the shoulders down and away from the ears. Feel that as you point the tailbone back in space, the underbelly firms in. Tailbone back, underbelly firms in. Push down through the toenails for 1 more breath. And on your exhale, cruise back into a Balasana, child's pose. Big toes together, knees open wide, sinking your butt back towards your heels. Forehead resting on the earth. Sending the breath into the back waistline. So from here, if you like, you can make a prayer at the top of your mat with your hands, and then bend the elbows towards the sky, walking the elbows a little bit forward and a little bit in towards each other. Let the head relax. And you can stay here. You can cruise back into a Shavasana. That feels nice. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be happy. Thank you for joining. Much love.